Welcome, beloved soul. You are here for a reason. And I believe with all my heart that heaven has guided you to this moment. Not by chance, but by a gentle, divine orchestration. Take a breath. Let your spirit soften. Because what you are about to hear may awaken something in you that has been waiting quietly for a long, long time. God's plan includes them. Yes, that person, the one your heart keeps circling around. The one who keeps showing up in your thoughts, in your dreams, in those quiet whispers that echo through your spirit. The angels are urging you not to dismiss it, not to turn away, not this time. Because this connection is not ordinary. It is part of something higher, something sacred, woven into the will of God long before you knew what to ask for. There is someone in your life, or someone who is about to enter it, who is carrying a light meant to walk with yours. You may not fully understand why. You may have doubts, uncertainties, or even fears, but heaven understands. And God is whispering to your soul, pay attention, because this isn't about infatuation. It's not about the shallow desires the world teaches us to chase. This is about alignment, purpose, divine timing. You see, God doesn't make random pairings. He doesn't toss hearts into the wind without care. He aligns souls for holy reasons, for healing, for growth, for love that reflects His image. This person, they may not be perfect. They may come with wounds, with history, with things you don't yet understand. But they are part of the story heaven is writing in your life, and the angels are surrounding you now, urging you to listen deeply, to lean not on your own limited vision, but to let your soul feel what your mind cannot grasp. Sometimes, God hides the greatest blessings in unlikely forms. Sometimes the one you overlook is the one who has been assigned to walk beside you through valleys and mountaintops alike. Sometimes love looks like a quiet presence, a kind word, a shared silence, a soul that doesn't complete you, but reflects the God within you. This is not about rushing, not about declaring something prematurely, but it is about opening your spirit to the possibility that God is orchestrating something you're only just beginning to see. And if your heart has been wrestling, if you've been unsure, unclear, unsettled, this is your invitation to listen deeper. Because when heaven says, pay attention, it means there's something sacred unfolding. Not dramatic, not loud, but quiet, holy, healing, and maybe that person you've been trying to forget was never meant to be forgotten. Maybe they were meant to be seen, truly seen, through God's eyes, not your own. Maybe they're the answer to a prayer you didn't know you were praying. Right now, I want you to slow down. Not your life, your heart. Let it breathe. Let it remember that it doesn't need to protect itself from what God has blessed. Let it recall that the safest place to trust is in the plan of the one who created love itself. Beloved, you are not crazy. You are not imagining things. There is something here. And heaven is nudging you, again and again, to be still and discern. Is this person being placed in your path for a reason? Is God using them to awaken something in you? A gentleness, a strength, a destiny you thought had passed you by? You don't need to have all the answers. You just need to stay in conversation. With God, He will reveal. He will confirm. He will unfold it gently, just like petals of a flower opening in morning light. And as you listen to this message, if you feel a stirring in your heart, if you sense the Holy Spirit breathing peace over this thought, then I invite you to stay present with it. And if this message is blessing you in a quiet, personal way, please consider subscribing for more gentle words of guidance and peace. Leave a comment if your heart is resonating or if you'd like me to pray for you. You can also share this video with someone who may need to hear it. Sometimes one gentle word can be the light someone is aching for. And if you feel led to support this sacred work through a super thanks, I receive it with a humble and grateful heart, because it allows us to continue sharing messages of God's love with souls around the world who need peace more than anything. Back to the message. There is a sacred timing to all things. And just because something hasn't happened yet, doesn't mean God isn't working. He is. In silence, in mystery, in patience, and the person in your spirit, the one you keep dreaming about, the one who shows up when you least expect it. That is not coincidence. God's fingerprints are all over this. There is a reason your soul recognizes them in ways your mind can't explain. Sometimes God speaks in echoes, in repetition, in recurring dreams, in unexpected meetings, in the weight of a name that won't leave your spirit. These signs aren't to confuse you. They're to prepare you. To let you know you're not alone in this knowing. Heaven knows it too. Beloved, if your heart feels tender now, if there are tears resting behind your eyes, that's not weakness. That's the Spirit moving through you, making space for love to flow freely again, making space for clarity, for trust. You don't have to rush toward this person. You don't have to make a move. You simply have to listen, to be open, to ask, God, what would you have me see, Lord? And trust that He will show you what you're ready for. You are part of a plan far bigger than you understand. And this connection, this person, may be more important than you've dared to believe. Don't ignore what your soul knows. God may be aligning your lives for something eternal. And if He is, He will not let it pass you by. Trust Him. Lean into the quiet. And let Him reveal the why. And once more, dear one, if this message has touched something deep within you, I'd love for you to subscribe and stay connected with this space. Your reflections are welcome in the comments. And if you'd like to bless this work through a super thanks, know that it helps us keep creating peaceful, faith-filled content for souls who are longing for gentle truth. You are part of that ripple of light. God sees you. The angels are speaking, and the one you're sensing is not here by accident. God's plan includes them. And heaven is asking you to pay attention, because when love is part of God's design, it won't look like the world expects, but it will feel like home. Let yourself trust that. Welcome back, dear soul. It is no accident that you have returned. Something within you is stirring, and the Lord, He is still speaking. Breathe, settle in. Let the weight you've been carrying fall off your shoulders, just for a little while. You don't have to figure everything out right now. You don't have to make sense of every emotion. You simply need to rest here, in this quiet space where the Holy Spirit can minister to your soul. Let's return to the message. God's plan includes them, and angels. They are drawing near, urging you again to pay attention. Sometimes we assume we've missed it, that we were too late, that the opportunity has passed. But God doesn't work on our timelines. He's not bound by our mistakes, our fears, our delays. He restores what we thought was lost. He reopens doors we believed were closed. And He brings people back around when it's time, not when we're ready, but when our hearts are aligned with His will. You may be sensing that someone is meant to walk with you. Maybe they already have, for a short while, or for years, or maybe only in spirit. But here's the truth. When God places someone in your heart persistently, when their name echoes in your soul, even after you've tried to forget, it is not always a call to move, but a call to listen. To pay attention. He may be preparing you, or preparing them, or preparing both of you in ways unseen. Because love that is ordained by God must be built on something holy, something patient, something rooted in surrender. And surrender doesn't mean doing nothing. It means offering the relationship back to God again and again, asking Him to lead. Lord, if this is from you, bring clarity, bring peace, bring truth. But if it's not, release it from my spirit gently. That prayer, sincere, open, trusting, is one that heaven honors. And while you wait, the angels are guiding you to notice the signs. The way your heart softens in their presence. The way Scripture suddenly reminds you of them. The timing of a message like this reaching you right when you needed it most. Nothing is random in the kingdom of God. Everything has meaning. And if you're listening carefully, you'll begin to see the divine fingerprints on every interaction, every delay, every divine detour that led you here. What if the person you're thinking of has been praying for confirmation too? What if their heart has been whispering your name in its own quiet way? What if God is writing a chapter for both of you, but you each need time in the wilderness to learn how to love purely, with grace and surrender? True love, heaven-born love, is not rushed. It is not loud. It is not confused. It moves with the pace of trust. It grows through patience and prayer. It flourishes when both hearts are yielded to God. And sometimes that means distance first, silence first, healing first. Because God doesn't just prepare relationships, He prepares people. And maybe that's what He's doing in you right now. Maybe the ache you feel isn't just about missing someone. Maybe it's about growing into the person who can receive what you've prayed for. Stay in the process. Don't despise the stillness. Don't run from the quiet. It is in the quiet that God reveals. And He is revealing now. Beloved, this person matters. This connection is not meaningless. Even if it's unclear right now, even if the timing feels off, even if things didn't unfold the way you hoped, it's not over just because it's silent. God is still moving, still aligning, still nurturing what needs to grow. And if this message is resonating with your soul, if it feels like truth spoken directly to you, I want to gently invite you again. Please subscribe for more peaceful words like this, so your heart always has a place to return to. If you feel moved to share your reflection or prayer, I welcome you to comment below. This is a sacred space for real hearts. Share this with someone who may need reassurance, someone walking through uncertainty, someone praying for clarity. And if this has touched your soul and you feel led to support this ministry through a super thanks, know that your generosity directly helps us continue sharing messages like this with thousands of searching hearts. It's never about money. It's always about mission. And I thank you from the depth of my heart. Let's return now to the deep well of what God is showing you. This person may not be what you imagined. They may challenge your comfort, your assumptions, your pride. But they also may carry the very piece of your purpose that your soul was designed to walk beside. There's beauty in being seen, not just physically, but spiritually. And when two souls recognize each other, when God unveils a purpose connection, there's a peace, a reverence, a sense that this is more than me. Don't rush it, but don't ignore it either. The angels are speaking softly, nudging, guiding, protecting, trying to show you that God's hand is still on this, that the story isn't finished, that maybe, just maybe, it's only beginning. God does not tease. He does not confuse. When He speaks with consistency, with love, with confirmation. So if the signs keep showing up, if your prayers keep circling back to this person, if your heart finds rest when you bring them before God, don't dismiss it. Discern it, because heaven's voice is often a whisper. But once you hear it, you can never unhear. And maybe this isn't just about love. Maybe it's about calling, about shared ministry, about becoming together what you couldn't become alone. Let God speak into that possibility. Let Him unfold it in His timing. He is not late. He is never unsure. He is simply preparing something that cannot be rushed. You are not waiting in vain. You are being refined. And the same God working in your heart is also working in theirs. You may not see it yet, but faith is believing in the unseen. And once more, if this is speaking to you, I welcome your soul to stay connected. Subscribe to this space for more messages that remind you of heaven's love. Leave a comment if this resonates or if you need prayer. I read them with care. And if this has blessed you and you feel moved to offer a super thanks, please know that it helps keep this light shining, bringing calm, Sacred truth to others still searching. You are part of something holy, and God's plan. It includes them. On Him, listen deeply. And trust, if it's meant to be, not even time can break what heaven has joined. Welcome once again, beloved heart. This is sacred ground you're standing on. Not because of anything flashy or loud, but because the Spirit of God is speaking softly into your soul, right here. Right now, you've been seeking clarity. You've been asking, Lord, is this person truly part of your plan for me? And heaven is not ignoring you. Heaven is answering, not always in the way you expect, but always in the way your soul needs. That person you keep thinking of. The one whose presence stirs something deep in your heart, the one you can't quite explain away. They are not a random thought. They are part of a divine conversation. And today, the angels are urging you once more. Pay attention, because you've come this far not by chance, but by divine invitation. You've been shown glimpses, whispers in your dreams. The way their name appears in prayer when you're not even trying to think about them. The stillness that settles in when you imagine walking with them, not in fantasy, but in holy partnership. Yes, God is in the middle of it. Not just working through your desires, but shaping them, cleansing them, aligning them with His will. You see, real love, God's kind of love, is not about obsession or fantasy. It's about peace. It's about purpose. It's about reflecting His character through relationship. And if this person brings you closer to God, if they make you pause and consider your calling more deeply, if their presence awakens a longing in you to be whole, to be true, to be spiritually aligned, then you are not imagining this. You are discerning it, beloved. Sometimes the hardest thing is not hearing God, but trusting what you've already heard. How many times has your spirit circled back to them, only for your fear to push it aside? How many confirmations have you received, only to doubt the way God communicates with you? But heaven speaks in ways the soul understands. And when the soul listens, everything begins to make sense. Even the waiting, even the wondering, even the silence. God is not rushing you. He is refining you, and He is preparing that person too. Because divine love cannot be built on half-formed hearts. It requires surrender from both sides, humility, growth, faith. So don't despise the time it's taking. Don't assume God is ignoring you just because He is quiet. His quiet is holy. His silence is still full of movement. And even now, He is drawing your heart into deeper trust. You may not know when the door will open, when the clarity will come, when this connection will take root in the visible world. But you can rest in this truth. God is not teasing you. He is teaching you how to recognize His voice and to walk by faith, not by sight. Let me ask you something tender. Have you invited God fully into this longing? Have you placed this person, this situation, this feeling on the altar of surrender? Not with fear, not with bargaining, but with reverence, with open hands, because that is where transformation happens. When we stop clinging to outcomes and start clinging to God. And if in that sacred space of surrender, God keeps confirming their presence in your life, then trust that. Don't rush. Just trust. Beloved soul, I want you to know this with every part of your being. You are not alone in this journey. God sees your heart. The angels are surrounding you. And the person you are thinking of, they are not absent from God's attention. He's speaking to them too. Perhaps in different ways, perhaps in different timing. But love that is written by God is not one-sided. It is mutual in the spirit, long before it becomes mutual in the flesh. And yes, this message is for you. Not because I know your story, but because God does. And He led you here for a reason. So if this message is giving your soul peace, if it feels like a confirmation or even just a gentle light in the fog, then I invite you now, from a place of spiritual humility, Please subscribe to this peaceful channel so your heart has a safe space to return to. Share your reflections or prayer requests in the comments below. This is holy ground where we lift each other up. If you know someone walking through similar questions, someone quietly aching for clarity, share this message with them in love. And if your heart feels moved to support this ministry with a super thanks, your kindness allows us to keep creating these sacred messages, offering peace and guidance to those who may have no one else to turn to. Back now to what your spirit is still trying to say. There's a reason the connection won't leave you. There's a reason your heart keeps reaching. And it's not because you're weak. It's because something eternal is being stirred. When God aligns two souls, He does so with perfect wisdom. He considers your purpose, your pain, your healing, your growth. And He prepares you both for the union, not just romantically, but spiritually. You won't have to force it. You won't have to manipulate it. What is truly from God will find you when both hearts are ready. And readiness isn't about perfection. It's about surrender. About saying, Lord, I'm willing to grow. I'm willing to wait. I'm willing to trust. Can you trust God with this part of your heart? The most delicate, most sacred longing. I believe you can. I believe that even now He is showing you what He sees. That this person is not just someone to love, but someone to walk with, pray with, build with, become more with. Someone who points you back to Jesus in everything. And if they are meant to walk beside you, then nothing, no distance, no misunderstanding, will stand in the way of what God has ordained. Be still. Keep praying. Keep surrendering. Keep paying attention, because God's plan includes them. And the angels are urging you still. Listen, wait, watch. Something holy is unfolding. And your heart is being prepared to receive it. So once more, dear soul, if this message has blessed you, I invite you to subscribe and return whenever you need peace. Leave your reflections below. They matter. They speak to others. They remind us we're not alone. And if you feel led to bless this space with a super thanks, know that it helps this ministry keep flowing freely to hearts around the world who are quietly searching for truth, for confirmation, for rest. You are seen. You are heard. And the person your heart keeps remembering, they are part of something sacred. Trust what God is doing, even when it's slow, even when it's quiet, even when you can't see the full picture yet, because He sees the end from the beginning. And He is still writing your story, with beauty, with purpose, with divine love. Let your soul rest in that. Welcome back, beloved. The fact that you're still here, still listening, still open, says something profound about your heart. There's a gentle hunger in your soul for truth. Not the world's truth, not surface answers, but the still holy truth that comes from God alone. So let's return once again to what heaven is whispering. God's plan includes them, and the angels are not silent. They are speaking softly, yet consistently, into your spirit. Pay attention, because what's unfolding now, it's not random, it's not coincidence. It is intentional. It is sacred. You've sensed this person's presence in ways you can't explain. You've tried to forget, but their memory lingers. You've tried to move on, but your spirit circles back. You've even questioned your own sanity at times, wondering if it's all just your imagination. But what if it's not? What if it's God? What if it's heaven reminding you that you've only seen the beginning of a story He's still writing? Let go of the pressure to explain it. Let go of the need to convince others, to seek their approval, to force clarity where God is still drawing in mystery. Not everyone will understand what your soul knows. Not everyone will recognize the sacred when they see it. But you were made to discern deeper, to hear what isn't shouted, to trust what only the Spirit can confirm. And if this person is still in your heart, it may be because your souls have a divine purpose to fulfill together. Not every purpose is romantic. Some are healing, some are transitional. Some are meant to guide you back to yourself and ultimately back to God. But some are eternal. And when God reveals that kind of connection, you feel it in your bones. Like a calm familiarity. Like a prayer being answered before you even fully knew what you were asking for. That's what real, Spirit-led connection feels like. Not fireworks. Not drama. But peace, recognition, a sense of spiritual homecoming. Let me say this plainly. You do not need to chase what is from God. You do not need to manipulate it, convince it, prove yourself worthy of it. What is from God will stand. Even through storms. Even through silence. Even through time. Because heaven never forgets what it plants in your heart. And what is sown in God's timing will bloom in God's season. Until then, you are invited to trust. Trust that God sees what you can't. That the person you think of may also be thinking of you. That your growth is not in vain. That this waiting, this longing, this yearning for understanding is not wasted. It is worship. It is surrender. It is preparing you for what's to come. And while you walk this journey, while you wait and trust and keep your heart open, I invite you lovingly to stay connected. If you haven't already, please subscribe to this peaceful channel. So, when the noise of life gets loud, you'll always have a soft, sacred place to return to. If something in your spirit has stirred today, please share your thoughts in the comments or leave a prayer request. This is a community of hearts that care. And if the Spirit leads you to offer a super thanks, please note Ruli that it helps keep this ministry flowing, so that more souls like yours can be touched, healed, and held by God's love through messages like these. Let us return now to the silence that reveals. Sometimes the person God sends won't match your expectations. They may not look the way you imagined. They may carry a story you don't yet understand. But when your spirits meet, there is no denying it. God's love doesn't show up flashy. It shows up faithful. It shows up humble. It shows up willing to grow with you, alongside you, toward heaven together. And maybe that's what this person represents. Not a perfect partner, but a willing one. One who has walked through their own fire, one who has learned to fall and rise again, one whose brokenness mirrors yours, not to wound you, but to help you both become whole in Christ. Isn't that what love is? A holy journey back to wholeness with someone who sees your soul and still stays. If you've been scared to believe again, if you've been guarding your heart too tightly, if you've convinced yourself that this can't be God, I want you to hear this clearly. God has not given you a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. You are allowed to hope again. You are allowed to trust that maybe, just maybe, this connection is real. That what you feel isn't foolish. It's faith. It's the Spirit calling you deeper. So hold this person before God, not in desperation, but in devotion. Pray not for possession, but for clarity. Not for control, but for wisdom. Because if they are part of God's will for you, then nothing can stop that purpose from unfolding. Not time, not fear, not the opinions of others. But if they are not, then you will be set free gently. And God will give you peace in the release. Either way, you are safe in His will. So trust the nudges. Trust the prayers. Trust the timing. And above all, pay attention. Heaven is still speaking. God's hand is still moving. And the one you keep thinking of, they are not forgotten by God, and neither are you. Once more, beloved, if this message has blessed you, please subscribe to receive more words like this, calm, sacred, full of truth. You can share your reflections in the comments, or simply ask for prayer. And if you feel moved to bless this channel with a super thanks, please know that your kindness keeps the light shining for others who need peace and confirmation on their journey. This ministry is growing, and you are a vital part of it. God sees your heart. He sees your prayers. And He sees the person you're praying about. Whether it leads to union or release, He will make it holy. He will make it right. He will make it beautiful in time. Until then, listen closely and trust completely. Because His plan, it still includes them and angels. They're still urging you with every whisper of grace. Pay attention. Welcome again, dear heart. You're not here by coincidence. You're here because something inside you is still seeking, still open, still willing to believe that God is guiding you, even through the uncertainty. So take another breath. Feel the peace of this moment wash over you. Release every fear and every question just for now and come sit with the Holy Spirit. We're going deeper now, and the message remains steady. God's plan includes them and the angels. They are still urging you. Pay attention. You've come a long way, through disappointment, through heartbreak, through delays and detours you didn't expect. And yet, your heart has not hardened. It may be tired, it may be cautious, but it is still soft enough to hear the whisper of heaven, that person who keeps returning to your spirit. They are not there to confuse you. They are there to awaken you. To awaken you to a love that is deeper than the world's version. A love that is anchored in purpose. A love that reflects the steady, holy kindness of God. You see, not all connections are created equal. Some people come to teach us, some to heal us, some to prepare us, and some to walk with us through the rest of the journey. It takes great wisdom to know which is which, and even greater humility to let God decide. Maybe you've asked, God, if this is from you, why do I feel so unsure? And I want you to know, doubt does not mean something is wrong. Sometimes doubt is simply your heart asking for confirmation, for peace, for alignment. God doesn't mind your questions. He welcomes them because He wants you to move with faith, not with fear. But understand this, confirmation doesn't always come in lightning bolts. Sometimes it comes through quiet consistency, through dreams, through patterns, through the way your spirit keeps circling back gently, patiently, faithfully. This person may not be the loudest part of your life, but their presence carries weight. They matter to your heart in a way that feels eternal, and you haven't been able to shake it because maybe you're not supposed to. Maybe this is one of those rare, heaven-woven bonds that only make sense in God's timing. Maybe it's not about understanding everything now. Maybe it's about trusting God even when the outcome is still unseen. This is what faith looks like, not certainty, but surrender. Saying, God, if this is from you, I won't run from it. But I won't cling to it either. I'll place it in your hands, and I'll follow you, even if the path doesn't look like what I imagined. Beloved, you don't need to chase answers. You just need to stay in relationship with the one who holds them. Let your heart be still. Let your spirit receive this truth. If God has truly chosen them as part of your story, nothing can remove them from it. Not time, not distance, not even your fear. God's plan cannot be broken by what you don't yet understand. That's why the angels keep speaking, why they keep nudging, why they keep pressing gently on your spirit. Don't overlook this. Don't brush it away. Don't run from what your soul recognizes as holy, even if the world doesn't see it. God does not. He sees the way your spirit softens at the thought of them. He sees the way their presence brings your heart back to Him. He sees the alignment, even when you see only uncertainty. And in the waiting, He is doing more than you know. He is healing both of you. He is positioning you both. He is answering prayers in silence. He is teaching you how to love with eternity in mind. That's not wasted time. That's sacred preparation. And if your heart feels heavy right now, if tears are welling in your eyes, know this: you're not alone. You are not foolish for feeling this way. You are not lost. You are deeply loved, and heaven is so near to you right now. Let yourself rest in that love. And as you listen, if this message has been a balm to your soul, if it has brought you clarity, or peace, please, gently, consider subscribing to this peaceful channel. Let this be your sacred well, a place to return to when your heart needs truth. Leave your reflections or your prayers in the comments. You are safe here. And if you feel led to bless this ministry with a super thanks, know that it helps us continue this sacred work of guiding hearts like yours with grace and God-centered peace. You are helping more than you know. You are part of a ripple that extends beyond words. Now come back with me to the still place inside you, the place where God dwells, and listen again, quietly. Do you feel it? That person you've been holding in your spirit? There's something God is not done saying about them. There may be healing still needed. There may be timing still aligning. But the connection, it's not over, not if heaven keeps speaking. Not if your soul still carries them in prayer. You don't need to run ahead of God, and you don't need to close the door out of fear. What you need is to trust the unfolding. Every day, ask Him, Lord, show me what's real. Don't let me chase what isn't from you, but don't let me ignore what is. He will answer, He will protect, and when it's time, He will make the path clear. So until then, beloved, wait well, watch closely, pray faithfully, and pay attention, because God's plan still includes them and the angels. They haven't stopped whispering. Welcome, dear heart. You've made it to this final part, and that says something beautiful about your soul. You're not just listening, you're seeking. Not for answers the world can give, but for the voice of God. And here, in this moment, that voice is still speaking. So come close. Let your spirit exhale. Let everything else fade into stillness, because what we share here now is deeply sacred. The message hasn't changed, but maybe your heart has softened enough to receive it more fully. God's plan includes them, and the angels. They are still whispering. Pay attention. You've listened through every chapter. You've leaned into the quiet. You've walked with courage through uncertainty. And maybe now you're wondering, what do I do with all of this? How do I move forward when my heart is open, but the future still feels unclear? Beloved, you don't have to do anything right away. This kind of revelation isn't always a call to action. Sometimes it's a call to awareness, a call to presence, a call to let God work in the unseen. Because love, real love, the kind that is born in heaven's hands and cradled in the prayers of angels, that kind of love grows slow, steady, pure. It doesn't shout. It whispers. It doesn't demand. It waits. It doesn't chase the spotlight. It seeks God's light. Maybe that's what this person represents in your life. A mirror of something deeper. A reflection of the spiritual work God is doing within you. A partner in faith, in healing, in purpose. And maybe it's not time to walk together just yet. Maybe the preparation is still unfolding. Maybe the healing is still happening. Maybe there are still silent yeses and unseen shifts happening in both of your lives. But the connection, the one you keep sensing, it hasn't gone anywhere, because it was never just a feeling. It was a seed planted in prayer, watered by patience, lit by divine timing, and shielded by grace. So what now? Now you trust. Now you remain available to God, not to outcomes, but to obedience. Not to a person, but to the process. Ask yourself, can I love God more than the outcome I desire? Can I trust His not yet as deeply as I trust His yes? Can I believe that even if things don't go how I imagined, they will go how heaven intended? Because that's where peace lives, not in control, not in having certainty, but in surrender, in knowing that you've given this to God fully and that He is faithful. Beloved, this is not the end of the story. It's simply the end of a chapter, and a holy invitation to wait with reverence, to trust with full heart, to love without clinging. The person in your spirit, whether they're in your life now or waiting just beyond the veil of timing, they are not forgotten. Not by you, And certainly not by God. There are angels still assigned to this connection. Heaven hasn't moved on. Heaven is moving through it. And when the time is right, when both hearts are ready, when the purpose has matured, you'll know. You won't have to question it. It will be marked with peace, with clarity, with divine order. Until then, love well, live fully, grow deeply. Let the time you have now become the soil where your future connection can flourish in health, in faith, in alignment with God. And if it ever begins to feel like too much, return to this space. Let these words remind you, you are not walking alone. You are not imagining this. You are not foolish for hoping that you are simply in the middle of a story that heaven has already written. So once more, with all my heart, if this message has met you where you are, please consider subscribing to this sacred channel so you'll always have a quiet place to return to. Share your prayer or your reflection in the comments. Let your voice become part of the healing this space offers. And if the Spirit has touched you and you feel led to support this work with a super thanks, please know it helps us continue crafting these peaceful messages, reaching souls who feel forgotten and reminding them of God's love. You are helping light remain. You are helping truth go forth. Let me leave you with this. When something is truly from God, it will come back in season. It will grow, not by striving, but by surrender. It will carry peace, not pressure. And it will glorify Him, not just fulfill you. That person on your heart, they may be part of your calling. They may be the hand you'll one day hold when you step into the next chapter God has written for your life. Or they may be the mirror that showed you what your soul is truly longing for, to be loved as God intended, to be seen with heaven's eyes, to be chosen sacredly, purposefully, without fear. Either way, you have not missed it. You have not been forgotten. And this is not over. God's plan includes them. And the angels, they're still watching, still guiding, still speaking into your soul. Pay attention and trust what He is unfolding, because what is of God will never be taken from you without something greater rising in its place. You are held. You are a lady. You are deeply loved, and heaven is still writing the rest of the story. Stay close to the author.